In this video, we're going to be talking about how to actually start a run. So we're going to start by batching a mini. So what do we mean by batching here? In this case, that means it's adding everything into your vessel besides cells. That way we can have it equilibrating in the incubator, let it get up to temperature, proper pH, proper DO, and then that way when we transfer it into here, we're ready to just add our cells and go. So the importance of batching is really to allow your media components to equilibrate over time. Letting them sit in the incubator and get the appropriate pH, DO, and temperature is actually going to create a more stable environment for the cells to get thrown into from either a fresh thaw or if they're getting harvested passage. So the other important part of the batching, besides having everything get fully equilibrated, is this is going to actually set you up for a better scale-up process. When you get into our larger systems, the 3, the 15, the 80, this is going to be the exact same type of thing that you're going to have to do with a lot of setup in the beginning, and then that way you're ready to just add your cells and go. So it's going to make it for an easier scale-up as you continue to develop your bioprocess. So the first step to batching is actually obtaining a vessel. I have one of our 0.5 liter vessels here. So first thing I'm going to do is get this thing ready to transfer. So I'm going to remove the outer package, spray this in, then remove the inner package. There's a little pre-cut right here that I'm just going to grab hold of and pull, like so. And then discard the outer. We're going to spray this down. And transfer that inside. So this inner package has the exact same thing with a pre-cut right here, so you can open this without using any tools. So the last step here, we're going to open that up, discard the outer, and we're ready to use this. So before starting any sterile culture run, you're going to want to inspect the vessel. Starting from the caps, we want to make sure that these are intact. They've been properly tightened on there. There's no cracks or breaks or anything in them. Then we want to look at the body, look out for any big cracks or scratches that may break the integrity of the vessel. And last, we want to make sure that the wheel is actually freely rotating. So if I just tip it like so, or if I have a mini base, I can see it locks right into place. So it looks like everything is perfectly functional in this vessel. So before I batch this vessel, I need to know how much media I'm actually going to add in. In this particular example, I'm only going to add in 400 milliliters, even though this can hold a final volume of 500. By me adding only 400, I'm actually leaving myself space to add about 50 mLs of cells, and in this case, 50 mLs of supplement. So there's two basic ways to add media into these vessels. And the first way is going to be to pipette. And by pipetting, I can just count the volume as I added it. So currently there's no cells in there, so it's not critical to reduce the amount of foaming or splashing, but it is good practice. So when you want to add anything into the vessel, you'll want to go along the wall or insert your pipette as far down as you can to reduce the amount of splashing. So in this case, you see I'm just going to dispense it along the wall so it's a nice easy flow and there's no bubbles forming. But I can also just go further down directly into my liquid and add it that way. The other method of adding liquid in here is going to be to do some sterile pouring. So for that, I already have this pre-measured volume, so I can add it knowing I'm going to have an accurate volume. And then this remaining bit, you would just add back in there with a serological pipette, so that way we're not going too far over our opening. And there we go. We have our batch mini. So this is ready to go into the incubator.